Good morning, students. Welcome to English class. In this module, we deal with Prose 3 from your textbook Snapshots-Ranga'S Marriage, written by Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. Let's get acquainted with the author. Masti Venkatesha Iyengar was a well-known writer in Kannada language. He was the fourth among Kannada writers to be honored with the Jnanapith Award, the highest literary honor conferred in India. He was popularly referred to as Masti Kannadada Asti, which means Masti Kannada's treasure. He is most renowned for his short stories. He wrote under the pen name Srinivasa. The background of the story. This chapter is all about life in Hosahalli village, where child marriage was still a common practice. It's an interesting story of how a person manipulates to get a young boy married to an 11-year-old girl. It revolves around a boy named Ranga, an accountant's son, who returns from Bangalore after 6 months having completed his higher studies. At the news of his arrival, the villagers gather at his home to analyze if he had changed or not and what is his perception about marriage. Everyone was so excited because during those days, not everyone used to get a chance to go to cities for studying. Dear students, please go through this vocabulary before you start reading the first part of the lesson. The narrator Shyama begins with a discussion of the title of the story. The story is a first-person narrative and a major portion of the story is in flashback. The speaker directly addresses the reader. The narrator is a neighbor of the protagonist. The narrator, Shyama, expects the readers to be questioning the simplicity of the title, Ranga'S Marriage. The readers might be thinking of fancier titles like Ranganatha Vivaha, Ranganatha Vijaya or Girija Kalyana. He clarifies that although he had options of keeping such elaborate names, the reason why he chose the basic and casual one is because the story is about our Ranga, someone who is very close and dear to him. The narrator feels apologetic for getting carried away and deviating from the topic. He again throws light upon the significance of the village called Hosahalli in Mysore. The Hosahalli village. The narrator brings about a comparison as to how things were different 10 years ago when not many people knew or spoke English. Neither did people send their children to big cities like Bangalore to study. Back then, only the village accountant had the courage to send his son to Bangalore. According to the author, those times were simpler. He justifies his claim by telling an incident where he was at Ramarao's house and they had just bought a bundle of firewood from an old lady. Ramarao's son told her to come next morning as he did not have any change at the moment. The poor old lady did not know what change meant and she went away whispering to herself. Neither did the narrator know its meaning. However, 10 years ago, English was not commonly spoken in this village, and when the villagers came to know that Ranga, the accountant's son, was coming home from Bangalore, everyone got excited and rushed to his home to have a glance at him. Ranga's homecoming. Ranga's homecoming is a great event in the village. A huge crowd of people gathers around his home to see whether any change occurred in him or not and to see how fluently he speaks English. Attracted by the crowd, the narrator too went there. Ranga came out with a smile. He still wore a janevara, the sacred thread over his chest. People even start touching him to make sure that he is not changed. Ranga does a namaskara respectfully. The narrator blesses him that he might get married soon. Ranga bends low to touch his feet. Ranga's view about marriage. Later in the afternoon, Renga arrived at the narrator's home with a few oranges. The narrator judged the boy and felt it appropriate to get such a well-educated and humble boy married. Shyama, the narrator, asked Renga about his view of marriage. To his surprise, Renga has different view about marriages. According to him, one should get married to a girl who is mature enough to understand the things and couples should look good together. He doesn't believe in arranged marriages. The narrator is distressed that the boy he thought would make a good husband has decided to remain a bachelor. Ramarao's niece Ratna. Here, the narrator introduces us to a new character in the story named Ratna. She is 11 years old and is Ramarao's niece. She is a pretty girl. She had lost both her parents, so her uncle brought her from the big town to his home. She knows how to play the veena and the harmonium. She also has a sweet voice. Seeing her, the narrator has a plan in his mind. What's the narrator's plan? How does he implement it? And how does the story end? Dear students, I am sure you are curious to know the answers for these questions. We will be dealing with it in the second half of the lesson. Thank you. Have a safe day.